Okay, so here is part 2 of our quiz review for solving equations. All right, our next page, we're on page 2. It starts with some parentheses in there. So let's remember there is a missing one on this x. And for parentheses, we have to distribute. We have to distribute whatever number's on the outside to every number on the inside by multiplying. So we're going to multiply 2 times 1x, and we're going to get 2x. And then we're going to multiply 2, actually it's going to be times a negative 6, because remember, minus indicates that we're multiplying by a negative here. So 2 times negative 6 is going to give us negative 12. So we'll write that down as a minus here. Equal now 16. We don't multiply that by the 16 because it's on the other side of the equation and is not inside the parentheses. Okay, now we check. 1, 2, 3 terms. All right, we can start undoing the equation by adding or subtracting to undo. So I'm going to undo the minus 12 by adding 12 to both sides. Okay, bring down your 2x. Equal now 16 plus 12 more is going to give me 28. And now I have 2 times x. So I'm going to undo that times by dividing by 2 on both sides. And we get x equal 14. Boom, we're done. Okay, cool. Next, we have some decimals. And again, you should notice right away that this looks longer than our other equations. If it looks longer, then we probably have to add like terms. So if I put the line down the middle here, or down the equal sign, then I see my like terms are on this side. They have 7.3x plus another 7.3x. So I'm going to put those together to get 14.6x. I didn't use minus 1.5, so I'm going to put that down. Equals now 14.5. Okay, 1, 2, 3 terms. Now I start undoing adds and subtracts. So I'm going to undo that minus 1.5 by adding it to both sides. Okay, now I have 14.6x equal 16. 14.5 plus 1.5 is going to give you 16. Oh, and the last step here, right? We don't have a fraction. So even though there's a decimal, we're going to divide because this means 14.6 times x. So divide by 14.6, divide by 14.6 over here, and you get, all right, let's do it to make sure we are correct. 16 divided by 14.6 equals, ooh, we get this big long decimal here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to round this decimal. So this 9 and this 5 and this 8 rounds this to about a 1.1. And I'll put the about equal symbol. Okay. And sometimes it doesn't equal the exact thing. If you didn't know this already, a squiggly equal sign means we're about equal to that. And it's going to round up because of that 9 here. Okay, next one. We have 1, 2, 3 terms, which looks like I start undoing stuff, but 2 x's, right? So we can only have 1 x before I start undoing stuff. So that indicates that I need to add some like terms again. So 5/4 x plus 3/4 x, those are our like terms. That's going to end up giving us 8/4 x. All I did was add the 5 and the 3 because the denominator is the same, 4 and 4. Equal now 18. All right, now we're already to the last step. There's nothing to add or subtract anymore to undo, but we do have a fraction next to times a variable, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 4/8. Okay, and cancel this side, and then if we do that in our calculator, let me remind you, if you want to use a calculator, this is what you would do. 18 times, you can do parentheses 4 divided by 8. If you have a fraction key, you could use that too. And you get 9. And that's your answer here. So it's a scary looking fraction question that ends up being this nice whole number. Okay, let's go again. So 1/5 x plus 16/10 x equal negative 36. Again, you have three terms. However, you have two x's, which indicates you need to add like terms. So 1/5 plus 16/10. Okay, let's pretend you don't know what to do here and you want to put that in your calculator. Again, there's multiple ways you can do that if you have a calculator. You can use your fraction key, 1/5 plus, now we're going to do 16/10. This is our fraction key. And it tells us it's 1 8/10. If you have this, that means you need to simplify until that doesn't come back. This is 1 4/5. So this is why I want to show you on the calculator. If you get that, you really don't want that while you're solving the equation. So remember what we talked about. To turn that back into an improper fraction, we start at the bottom. We do 5 times 1. So we're times in here. 5 times 1 is 5. And then we add, so we're going to say plus 4. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 more is 9, and we keep the denominator the same. So this, when I add this together, is really 9/5 x equals negative 36. Okay, so now there's nothing left to add or subtract. So the last step, again, we have a fraction multiplied by our variable. So we're going to times by the reciprocal, which would be 5/9. Okay, this side cancels. So we would do negative 36 times 5/9. And we should get negative 20. Okay, I'm going to show you in a calculator how you could do that. You could do negative 36 times 5 divided by 9, or if you have a fraction key, you can make that the fraction 5/9. Okay, number 11. Now, number 11 looks a little bit different because it looks kind of similar. You see there's 4 terms, but this time when we split them up, you're going to notice, yes, there are 2 different x's, but one is on the left side and one is on the right. If they are on opposite sides of the equal sign, we don't add them together. We have to cancel one of them out, okay? So that might be a note that I would write on my cheat sheet. If variables are on opposite sides of the equal sign, opposite sides of the equal sign, then you need to cancel one of them. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one you cancel. I usually cancel the one on the right so that the equation is what I'm used to working with. So I'm going to cancel the one on the right. I'm going to do a minus 2x here. And then I'm going to do that under the 6x because that is what matches. That's the like term over here. So 6x minus 2x is 4x. Bring down minus 64 equals positive 44. Now you have 3 terms and only 1x, and you can start undoing things. So we're going to start by undoing our minus 64. So we're going to add it to both sides. So 4x now equals 108. No fraction here, so this is 4 times x. So to get rid of it, we would have to divide by 4 on both sides. Okay, and so if you do this correctly, you should get x equals positive 27. Boom. Okay, we have one last page, and I'm going to do one last short video. So if you would need help on page 3, have to click the next video.